Hello students and welcome for our EVS 1 class. I shall do the review of second unit test portion. In this second unit, we have covered chapter number 14, Transport, chapter 15, Communication and Mass Media, chapter 16, Water, chapter 17, Clothes are necessity, chapter 18, the environments and us, and chapter 19, constituents of food. Well students, I hope you remember what we had learned in chapter 14, that is transport. We learned the beneficial and harmful effects of transportation, judicious use of means of transport. We also learned the danger to nature due to the pollution caused by various means of transport, remedies for various types of pollution. I hope you remember all these points. Next, our chapter number 15 was on communication and mass media. We learned introduction to the means of communication, the use of space launch technology for telecommunication. We learned introduction to mass media and the advantage and disadvantage of the use of mass media. And in chapter 16, water, when substances that are harmful for living things get mixed with water, it becomes polluted. You know, water is life, and so we need to preserve it. Before waste water is let into water bodies, it is processed in many ways to prevent their pollution. Otherwise, what is going to do? It is going to harm us. Before the water supplied to the public, the dissolved and undissolved substances in it are separated at the water works and the germs in it are destroyed. And I know I remember you all liked this chapter. Yes, and we should. Why? Because we are talking about the important source over here, which is helping us to lead a life on. Otherwise, you know what happens if there is no water. Yes, the inconvenience that we face in our life. If it does not rain for a long time, it leads to drought and famines. You see, there is so much of atmospheric changes that come about. And if there is no rain, we are going to face a problem. All the living beings are going to face the problems. Famine conditions affect humans as well as animals and plants of that region. And for this purpose, the government has taken up with water management, means stopping or storing water or letting it percolate into the ground to make it available even after the rainy season. Students, we are blessed with the rains, and this water is stored for our year long use. And this is how uh, the government had taken up the management of building dams, storing water in ponds, lakes, and the underground water, how it is utilized by the use of digging wells and pump. Yes, we learned a lot of things in water, and I really say that this lesson was very interesting one. Then we did lesson number 17. Clothes are necessity. This lesson we learned how clothes also is one of our basic needs, and how we long to get a dress for us. Wanting things you do not need is desire and not necessity. That is what we learned. I told you that if you see something, you just want it. Even if you don't need it, you're not supposed to get it. Why? Because it simply goes in waste. We must use things only as we need them. Several regions in our country have a tradition of producing fabrics characteristic of the place. This we learn that different material is produced in different states. We learned about the diversity in clothing in our country with the help of map. And the dressing style, the materials that we use all differ from different states in our country. Our country is a cultured country wherein we have lot of diversity, and we all are accepting this diversity. That is, we are accepting each other's likings. We normally enjoy all the festivals, whether you are a Catholic, whether you are a Hindu. We just enjoy the outfits also as per the tradition of the other religion. We never look out like, no, no, this is only Hindu festival or this is only Muslim festival. No, we all get together to enjoy all the happiness, the joys together. Next one is chapter 18. Excuse me. The environment and us. What we have learned here is there are interrelationships between all living and non living things in the environment. Different kinds of plants, animals, and microorganisms are found in different regions. We have seen that different plants also, you see now in our country, there is not only diversity in the clothing style or the eating style, we have a diversity in our environment too. Okay, we have different plants growing in different states, we have different animals, different things all around, and we are accepting all these things. We learned how the balance between the cycle of various gases in the atmosphere, the water cycle, and food chain has been maintained for thousands of years. Pollution of water is a threat to aquatic plants and animals. If there's a lot of pollution, it will not only affect us, but it will also affect the plants and animals that are living on the land as well as in water. We shall all have to make efforts to stop the degradation of the environmental balance caused by human intervention. Favorites, biodiversity, parks, national parks, and sanctuaries are created for the conservation of plants and animals. Now, all these things we learned in this chapter. Now, this chapter is also being taken for an activity. Just as we have one chapter on clothes where we did one activity. Now, this also chapter is for activity. And the last lesson that we have done in this unit, that is for second unit test, is chapter 19, constituent of food. And what did we learn in this chapter? Is that the body gets energy from carbohydrates. Proteins are necessary for the growth of the body as well as the repair of the wear and tear of the body. Now you see, this is the age where you are growing, children. So you need to have lot of proteins. Our body gets energy from fats too. Oily substance, yes, like butter, cheese. This is the season where you can consume all these eatables. Although our body needs vitamins and minerals in small quantities, a deficiency of any of them can lead to a disease or disorder. Now, if there is less quantity in your consumption of food, or you have no proper uh, proteins, calcium, all the constituent of food, then you are surely going to suffer. There may be deficiency, or there may be disease or disorder that will cause your body to ruin. So please see that you eat well, as you will grow well. Now you need to consume fruits, vegetables and their skin, cereals and pulses are all sources of fiber. From each of the food items that we eat, we get more than one food constituent. And if your diet does not include all the food constituent in the right proportion, it leads to malnutrition. Malnutrition has serious consequences for a person's health. We learned this. I hope you have understood. And what is the purpose of eating healthy food? To keep us fit and strong. So my students, this unit we have done chapter 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 and 19. And we have done two activities in this unit, that is on lesson number 17, clothes are necessity, and chapter 18, the environment and us. I hope you will be surely prepared for your second unit test. I hope things are clear with you, the portion is clear with you. Prepare yourself well. Till then, thank you and meet you again.